Nature Things to Come 2012, the Triumphant Butterfly. And so what the Triumphant Butterfly is about is, I want to start off with thanking everybody who's here. I'm really honored that you took the time to come out here to watch and be with me and learn something new about yourself and the world that's out there. I have some special people that are here tonight. I have Sharon Bellina, who was at the front door for me. She's been here through all my transformation and changes, and I just love her so much, and she is that triumphant butterfly. We have an awesome story that we share with one another all the time about butterflies, so she knows what I'm talking about. And then I have a great friend, Mike Orlowski, and he has Alpine Vista in town here, which is a home theater and the smart homes and all those things. So he's been kind enough to come in and help me with all the details with this information that we're sharing with you tonight. And we had to do the best we could. Since they're closed on Sundays, they open the door at a certain time, and then they close the doors at a certain time. So we had limited amount of time to really kind of put things together, but all is well. We have my clone who disappeared, who, you know, I'm going to blame the clone. So let them take the responsibility. So then, so anyways, I'm starting off. I'd like to just share a story about the Triumphant Butterfly with you tonight. And this is from, I read this recently in this book called The Keys of Jeshua by Glenda Green. The Triumphant Butterfly was a very vivid image for me because of my personal experience with one that did not survive. A classmate of mine had found a cocoon lying by the sidewalk on his way to school. It was still undamaged and tightly woven to the tiny fallen branch. After presenting it to the class, our homeroom teacher gently placed the cocoon in a wide-top jar with holes in the lid. She set it on the desk where we could all watch the miracle that would be emerging in a few days. Every morning we observed the silky envelope. Then finally, almost imperceptibly at first, the cocoon moved. We watched more closely, and soon the cocoon was trembling with activity. Finally, the shaking became so intense that we feared the butterfly would die from its battle. Our teacher panicked as well and removed the lid on the jar. She then took a sharp penknife from her desk and carefully made a tiny slit into the side of the cocoon. Almost immediately, one wing appeared, and then another was outstretched. The butterfly was free. It seemed to enjoy its freedom and walk along the edge of the mason jar and along the edge of our teacher's desk. But it didn't fly. At first we thought the wings needed time to dry, but time passed and still the butterfly did not take off. Worry propelled us to consult with the science teacher. We explained the whole situation and what we had done. With a regretful sigh, the science teacher informed us that the butterfly would likely never fly because it was not strong enough. You see, the struggle for emergence is what gives the butterfly its strength to fly. In nature, a butterfly simply does not emerge until its wings are strong enough to assist its survival. We have all asked, why is there suffering? It certainly seems that heavier loads are given to some more than others. Perhaps therein lies an opportunity for us to correct an imbalance. Most certainly, we will not grow in our humanity without caring, sharing, compassion, and charity. At that same time, it is important not to embed a judgment of superiority within our sympathy. Often we project our fears into the challenges of others, like the anxious students who prematurely relieved the butterfly of its struggle. Wisdom impels us even to consider that suffering is the ultimate challenge to judgment itself. I was once privileged to share the last days and passing of a loving child stricken with leukemia. Her parents were torn with grief and judgment, but the little girl was a lovely angel who confronted them every day, comforted them every day. Repeatedly, they would ask me, why does our daughter have to suffer? And when I asked the child how she felt, she would say, I'm not suffering, It's my parents who hurt. Can you help them feel better? When we look around our troubled world, how do we relieve the anguish? How do we forgive? Perhaps it begins by releasing our own worry and judgment. Clearly, there is harm and destruction that needs to be addressed by some form of justice, containment, or correction, at least until its energy can re-emerge, containment, or correction. At least until its energy can re-emerge in a more constructive way. But in the end, it may be that our only need for forgiveness to ourselves and others is that we did not know the presence of God more richly while we lived. Perhaps we did not allow the power of God to work through us more fully. We cannot live another's life or make another's choices, but in living our own life to the fullest, we may know love. In that, we will make a difference, considering that a certain amount of pain is part of living. It may be that one of the greatest human tragedies is that we view our struggles as punishment and suffering as evil. Could it be that life is just a great cocoon from which the butterfly is born upon the death of its shell? When I read that, it just put everything into perspective of what I would like to share with everyone here tonight. So, is everybody hearing me okay? Okay, good. It's one good thing when you have hockey players, when you're sitting up there in the stand, go! So I got a nice loud voice now. So anyways, it's a good thing I didn't have that microphone on, did I? All right.